So Sienna and I looked at the article, How Matter Comes to Matter in Children's Play, Posthumanist Approaches and Children's Geographies. So it had a big fancy name, and the first thing I was wondering when I looked at it is, what is posthumanism? So posthumanism is a way of thinking that really challenges the traditional idea that humans are separate or superior to nature. It means beyond human-centered ideas. And I like to think of it like a question. If a child is playing outside with a stick, how does the child and the stick shape that play experience together? So this approach really emphasizes the interconnectedness of humans and non-human elements that actively influence children's play. So the first discussion question that we talked about was exactly that. It was how non-human elements like sticks, mud, or animals contribute to children's nature play. So we talked a lot about how what materials children have access to can influence what they do. For example, a flat surface might invite a lot of running or sprinting games, while a river might be a moat for an imaginary castle. So children don't go out into nature with a set plan of how they're going to play, but rather respond to what nature presents through play. So even things like a warm sunny day, you might inspire a different play game than on a muddy day where they're playing in puddles. So it's that play is co-created by the child and environment, and that the environment influences the play's actions just as much as the child's intention. We also kind of went off on a tangent to discuss that there may be limitations when children are playing with toys that are really designed to be one thing. So we thought about the example of Hot Wheels cars. Like, that is a car. But if you look at the example of a stick, like we talked about, a stick could be a wand, it could be a walking stick, it could be anything, right? It could be so that kind of, those toys can have more restriction than what nature provides in our play. So the second question that we focused on was on cultural differences and how children could engage in play in more than the human world. So we considered how children's interactions are often shaped by their cultural backgrounds. We had a really great discussion on how Eurocentrism really treats humans as separate from nature, while a lot of indigenous culture really sees humans and the environment and nature as equals. So those more natural environments might encourage more reciprocal relationships with the land and therefore through play. So we kind of were thinking a lot about what children see and hear growing up as part of their culture can really impact how they interact with the environment and how they see that environment, and that could be potentially reflected through their play. So as a last thought-provoking question for everyone to consider is, how might the natural world shape a child's creativity different than a classroom does? So thank y'all for listening, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.